Welcome to Wrazel, the business of cannabis. I'm your host, Brian Barbuto. This is my co-host, Kyle Turley, and our guest, Gary Huang. Welcome to be here, Gary. Gary has recently joined the team and is now Wrazel's Chief International Relations Officer. And we're excited to talk to Gary about what he's going to be doing here at Wrazel and his efforts in working with investors. So, Gary, if we could, give our listeners a little bit of a taste of your background.
Yeah, actually I have been in the consulting business for more than 12 years in Accenture. They said it's the largest consulting firm. And after that, I'll start some companies running business in the fast-consuming goods. Here we call probably the consuming packaged goods industry. We're doing we are building a modern channel for selling those, we call it new brands. Just
Sure. Yeah, understood. Got it.
Yeah.
So we met Gary because Gary came to us representing a number of investors interested in projects, including Kyle's and some of the others in the platform. And after getting to know Gary and the way Gary conducts himself and the interest of his investors in our own modeling, it made sense to join forces and take advantage of this unique opportunity, which has presented itself as a result of the COVID-19 virus. And what's happened in China is unfortunate, and what's happened all around the world is unfortunate. But in terms of the CBD space, China was a big distributor of CBD here in the U.S. Yep. And as of late, China's import has been cut off, as you know, and has made a great avenue for expanding products. Guys like Kyle, their businesses are really booming now because they have less competition. And those investors behind those Chinese companies lost their opportunity to import here, and now we're looking to get on and joint venture with U.S.-based companies in the space. So this is why we brought Gary onto the team. We like Gary, what he stands for, his ethics and his ideology with regard to investment. And this is why we thought we'd introduce Gary to you, the listening audience. Gary, what can you tell us that would resonate with the listeners who are looking to raise capital? Is there real money coming out of China into the U.S. now, or is it here representing Chinese investors with an appetite to invest in the cannabis space?
Yes, actually the investors are looking to the business opportunities. You know, actually the CBD market is not open in China yet.
Right.
Yeah. So actually, talking about a lot of the business, the hemp business, they are still limited into the cultivate and extraction, but all the products extracted have to be sold to abroad, like into US. But for those companies, quite a lot of listed companies, they get involved in the business. They are not willing to only limit it to those business. They want to get into the market, the final products, connect with the customers. That's why they are looking for opportunities in States, in Europe. The final way, actually, they want to have the assets. They want to have the brand and the business experience ready when China open the market. When China open the market, they will get a first move and get them.
First mover advantage.
Yes.
Yeah. So right now, the companies who have a brand recognition, who are in production, who are looking to scale, those are the kinds of businesses that would be ripe for the interest of your kind of investors. Is that
also correct? The interpreter, the IP.
The intellectual property.
Yeah.
The companies with the intellectual property, companies like Wrazel.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So, Kyle, what do you think about our affiliation with Gary? What can you share with us?
Sure. I'm extremely excited about the foreign markets, the opportunities that foreign markets provide, the connection to a global opportunity for cannabis. I think that, as this thing has burgeoned in America, the global opportunity is so much greater. And we've seen that. And we've seen Canada legalize and now go into importation or exportation, and now they created these channels through cannabis that can travel overseas. China has been a great producer of hemp for some years, centuries, in fact, as this history of this plant continues to be unfolded. Maybe if you could explain some of the history behind hemp in China, and what has led some of these investors to consider cannabis as a true opportunity for their investment dollars.
Yeah, actually, hemp was very popular in China for 1,000 years, but mainly on fiber for making clothes, and also the hemp seeds as a food. But China still has a very good industry called the Chinese traditional medicine. They use all kinds of plants. So people now thinking like CBD, cannabinoids, actually should be a good resource for the Chinese traditional medicine, and to actually cure people, cure diseases. So actually now so many like list of companies, especially in the medicine, biotech companies, they already want to invest in this area.
Excellent. Are there any other interests in from the Chinese markets in particular on hemp construction materials?
Yes. It's kind of like they already have something done in like making furnitures. Even like for decoration in the vehicle. High-end those material.
Oh yeah, that's the strongest material known to man as it comes to be
But
the
the
case.
CBD, definitely the cannabinoids is everybody looking for.
Yes.
Now the topical CBD products is kind of allowed in China, but we use a different term called the hemp leaf extracts.
Right.
Hemp leaf extract.
Yeah.
Now, you cannot label CBD on the products.
They
but
do that in America too.
Okay.
Unfortunately, they've left it to certain individuals to say whether or not they're allowed to use the 3 letters CBD versus just saying hemp.
Yeah, just saying hemp.
Right.
But we will see like China will follow the U.S. The regulation. I mean, from the regulation side, China called the CFDA. It's quite much follow the FDA, and also Hong Kong. It's a free trade zone. They follow. Probably more easy for them to follow. Currently, as I know, the CBD food, beverage, supplements, and also cosmetics are allowed in Hong Kong.
Interesting. How would the Hong Kong investor pools want to spread their money in cannabis? And the information that you've experienced to the entrepreneurs in cannabis and the multitude of businesses from CBD to hemp construction.
Yes.
How are the interests in areas like China and the investor groups looking to implement the investment dollar?
Yeah, actually, talk about like there is kind of currency problems for Chinese yuan, RMB to get out of mainland China, but a lot of Chinese companies, they get listed in Hong Kong. On Hong Kong stock market, what they collect is the Hong Kong dollar. The Hong Kong dollar is free to go everywhere. So actually, probably for the CBD products outside CBD assets outside the China, the first wave of the investor could be from Hong Kong, actually from Hong Kong market. But some companies are based in mainland China.
Interesting. Some of the extract companies and the hemp companies.
Okay, no,
Are
no,
in mainland China.
pharmaceutical companies, yeah, healthcare companies. Quite a lot, so many companies in China, but some of them listed in Hong Kong and probably Singapore. And that money is free to invest into U.S.
Excellent.
So, Gary, another one of the things that we've talked about, I think that our listeners would be interested in learning more about, is the interest by Chinese investors who are looking to participate with U.S.-based companies who are in production.
Yes. As we talk about that the current market is in U.S.
Yes.
So the investors or the business owners, they want to have they want to get into the market and get their awareness and get some IP and also the brand awareness.
So what you're saying is this is more than guys wanting just to invest. They're looking for U.S.-based companies to actually partner with.
Yes.
Yeah.
Actually, quite a lot of Chinese people, actually, they love U.S. brands.
You know, one of the things that this might be an odd digression I'll share with you. I've watched some of the U.S. and Chinese World War II. What do we call them? The veterans come home and make friends and talk about the days of doing battle together and become great allies now in industry. And when you take these two nations of passionate men and women who are not only honorable and intelligent, but are assertive and enterprising and entrepreneurial, great things can happen. So we're excited to see Chinese and American companies come together and forge a future here in cannabis. We welcome you if you're in either camp, and if you're outside that camp and interested in getting into these camps, come in with us, because we think the opportunity for this collaboration couldn't be better. If you're looking for funding of a venture and you're in revenue, you've got brand recognition, reach out to Wrazel. You'll have access to Gary and his team. We're very optimistic about our own fund that we're standing up, and these investors coming into our own Wrazel fund. Kyle's doing an excellent job introducing the company to more and more sponsors like yourselves who have the opportunity that I just described. And the synergies between the investment opportunities and the business opportunities are starting to come together, and we think we're in a time for explosive growth and real opportunity. So get a hold of us when you can, Wrazel.com. Thanks for listening, and be sure to tune in for the next episode of Wrazel, the Business of Cannabis. I'm Brian Barbuto, Kyle Turley, Gary Huang. Thank you so much.
Thank you.